And hello to all my friends. I'd like to welcome you in. My name is Scott Sagent, and today I'll be doing your free psychic tarot reading for the mid-month of October 2022. Can't believe October is almost over already. Goodness. Today we're going to be doing a very fast-paced reading, lightning style. We're going to be going through every single sign, so I have all my friends here in one place. Thank you so much for joining. I'm going to be using every single tarot deck that I have, guys. Every single angel oracle card deck that I have. 6 in all. You see them right in front of you here. They are shuffled up and ready to go, so this is going to be a very fast-paced deal. But if you would like to skip ahead to your sign, that is in the YouTube description, and also across the YouTube bar there, you can see it's broken up into chapters to make it a little easier for you guys. So let's get started. The first sign up is Scorpio. Scorpio coming in hot with these decks. The only thing we have left to do, guys, is ritual cut them, and they are ready to go. Got to do that to both of these decks here. Cut them both into thirds. Put them back together in a separate order. And then we are ready for some Scorpio. All right, so here we go. Scorpio, middle of October. All right, so the first thing we're talking about here, Scorpio, is an event of some form. It's my Four of Wands. This is an event, something to do. It could be a gathering, a family gathering, going to a concert, going to a museum, doing something. An event is the best word to describe it. I've also seen it come up for like a ceremony, could be for a wedding or something like that, but it's usually a very pleasurable thing. Good event to see. Now, the other thing that is going on here is there is a lot of money being spent here in the middle of October for a lot of my Scorpios, so be a little cautious of that. I don't know if it's necessarily anything that is in or out of your control here. It may just be, hey, the refrigerator broke. It costs a lot of money to get a new one of those. Or, you got to spend a lot on car repairs or whatever you're spending a lot on. Maybe it's just nothing you can avoid. It's just you're due for it. And, hey, the refrigerator is due to go at some point. The car breaks. We're due to be replaced at some point. So something like that is what's coming up here. Also, it would be a good idea to try to save as much as you could, though, here in the middle of the month. It's not really a good time to be spending for my Scorpios, except for the ones that have to, for those things that we kind of mentioned already. So I go back to that main event, and it's at the very first card. It's a very pleasurable card to see. So I would focus on that, whatever that means for you here. And even if it's not anything you understand right now, hey, this is a good opportunity to create an event. Maybe you can be the host. You can get some people together, go out to dinner, touch up with some friends you haven't seen in a while or something like that. So that's what we got for Scorpio there, middle of October. We're moving into Libra now, guys. Here we go with Libra. All right. Now, Libra, first thing we want to talk about here is driving a little bit blind right here. A lot of my Libras are a little bit confused about something that is going on in their lives. Maybe they're a little confused about going left or going right, which way they're going to take a certain choice or a certain direction. It is kind of a fork in the road of form. Now, they do show here that this card is upright, so it's not like you're upside down or you're having a hard time about it here. If this was flipped around for me, they'd be saying, hey, you're stressed out, you're worried, you're anxious. You got to calm it down here. They did not do that, and I pay just as much attention to what they say as to what they don't say. It's all important. So therefore, they're saying that, you're just driving a little blind here. You don't see where you're going necessarily, but trust the path. We have to have a little bit of faith here for my Libras. The next thing they show here are lessons being learned. That's good. You guys are getting over them, so you don't have to repeat the old lessons over and over, because the universe will keep testing you, and it'll just keep saying, hey, Libra, you learned this yet? Hey, Libra, you learned this yet? Until you pass that test, the universe will keep doing that. Now, they're showing that you guys have done a good job here. Most of you are in good position here, especially if it's work lessons. You guys are acing it in the work column here. The work corner is being notched out here very well by my Libras, but there's a little bit of stagnation. They're wondering here why you're not moving forward more with work. We need to charge ahead with these lessons you learned. Instead of, just sitting on this knowledge and sitting on this wisdom, we need to put it to use. So use it to improve, especially if they're talking about work for you. I mean, this can be in any corner of your life, but it does come in as a wand, so I do have to lean a little bit toward the work corner there. So there we go for Libra, middle of the month. Next up, guys, is Sagittarius. Sagittarius, last sign with this deck, and then we'll switch. Okay, Sagittarius, middle of the month. Big theme for my Saggies. Need an angel card for it because it is my first big theme. All right, so Sagittarius, first thing we talk about is the moon card, what comes in first. Now, this is not full moon. This is not new moon. This is the moon card in tarot, which is completely different. And the moon card is, not the most pleasant of cards or energies. It's basically saying things are a little bit mysterious right here in the middle of October. Things are a little maybe weird or bizarre, or you're not seeing everything clearly. It's just like the moonlight. If you go outside in the moon, when it's dark, you can see a little bit what's going on, but it casts a lot of shadows. It's very different than when you go outside with the full sun out there illuminating everything. So the moon is basically saying that there's some stuff here that is just a little shadowy type going on and a little bit weird. So it's just the energy's a little off here in the middle of October for a lot of my Sagittariuses. So let's see what to do about it. Actually, we got a couple inverts. I got to do a quick discard to make sure that doesn't need to go upright. It does not. But I do have a person, also need a discard there, and that is not. So we're good. Spirit nailed it right the first time. We're going to leave it just like this. So what they're talking about here is there's a big nurturing being called for in the love corner. Love corner here for my Sagittarius. Sagittarius guys, that means basically that the family needs the energy right now. I don't know if we talked about that in your general or not. This is just kind of an add-on to that. It may have come up already, and if that's the case, they're just kind of pounding it home here. The family needs it right here. Your love corner needs it. Doesn't matter if you're single or in a relationship or anywhere in between. It's just basically saying that, don't neglect it, okay? Especially right here, right now. The love, the family corner, it's another word for it, the family. The family corner needs this energy right here, middle of October, guys. Clearing out is what's being needed here. There's kind of some stuff going on spiritually, kind of behind the scenes that could be a little bit kind of hemmed up here to move a little bit smoother. Now this is coming up as chakra clearing here. Archangel Metatron, it's one of the big ones, basically saying to call upon him to help clear and open up these chakras, geometric shapes. I pay a little bit less attention to that part, but basically chakras here. They're bringing attention to your chakras. If you're a Sagittarius, let's get those cleaned up. I do have a guided meditation on the throat chakra, the Vishuddha chakra. You can see that on the website, also on YouTube. Still working on the other ones. Eventually I'm going to have them all, but right now we just have the throat chakra. But any other kind of chakra clearing that you feel like you need, you can find that stuff on YouTube, other places, guided meditations, and so forth. The last thing they come up and talk about here is that there is something that is a little bit of a setback here for my Sagittariuses, and they don't want you to let this perturb you. Don't let it stop you from what you're doing. They're basically saying that this is usually a small little deal. This is like when you hit a speed bump and you're driving. Hey, maybe you didn't see it. Maybe it's a speed hump and it's one of those bigger ones and you're just like, whoa, what just happened there? You know what? Don't let that. What do you do when you're driving and you hit that? Do you stop the car and get out and just be like, oh, well, I just need to park for a while? No, you just, okay, you hit the speed bump, you slow down a little bit. Hopefully you saw it. If you didn't, either way, you still get back up to speed and you continue the path, you continue the journey. So that's what's being called for here. So Sagittarius, the energy altogether here, middle of October, is not the most pleasant, but this is the advice of how to deal with it so that you can move to the pleasant part. Because remember, nothing is ever perfect for anybody, anytime, ever. We're always doing this vacillating trip and you're never too far down, you're never too far up without going back the other way. So that's what we got for Sagittarius, guys. You guys will get through that just fine. Move into November in strength. We switched decks also. Put this over here. This deck is expired. All right, we got to switch decks going into Pisces, guys. Pisces turn. All right, we're ready for the ritual cuts. Put it back together. Separate order. Here we go, Pisces. Middle of October. Okay. Short and sweet for my Pisces. Okay, so we bring up the King of Cups first. This is the energetic definition of the King of Cups. They're not talking about a man here necessarily. They're bringing up the energy. So what's that mean? That means that you need to take real big authority here in the middle of October with your love corner. It's coming in for your sign as well. It's been another theme too. I believe that was Sagittarius. Yes, it was. So we're on Pisces here, and they're calling for the same thing, except here they're telling you that a little bit different energy because there was a little bit more neglect with Sagittarius, and with Pisces here, they're saying you're not neglecting anything. You just need to be firm. You just need to be authoritative and just really put your foot down with the family members, with the loved ones, with the kids, kind of whatever the context is for you. You really got to be firm here. Don't be aloof. Don't be too nice. Sometimes, tough love is a thing. That's basically what they're showing here. You may feel like you're off on an island a little bit alone here in the middle of October. It could be basically metaphoric that this is circumstantial because of dynamics that are going on with the family or whatever they're describing here. But you need to be very take charge. Do not let other people decide for you here. You need to decide for yourself. Now, the other thing that they really want you to work on here, Pisces, middle of the month, is new ideas, new ways of doing things, new ways of thinking, new inspiration, really. And that could go back to the family dynamic that we just discussed, or that could also be something different. It's hard to kind of correlate if those cards are necessarily talking about the same subject or if we're talking about two different subject matters. So in a general, I try to give it to you all. So that's what they're saying here. This is my light bulb effect of like a brand new inspiration idea popping in, but it's on a block. So this is saying that, you know what, you've been hanging on to old ideas for too long, like the light bulb burnt out. Okay, and we need to get this light bulb switched out, get a new one on there, and get some new ideas blinking and try to do things a little bit differently because the old ideas aren't working for you anymore, more than likely. And that's why they're calling for new ideas. Start thinking of new ways to do things here. Middle of October, no better time for my Pisces. Now let's move on to Leo. Leo is next. Leo, middle of the month, big theme for my Leos. I'm going to need an angel card. And we are ready. Okay, Leo, they're talking about the moon cycles first with my Oracle Angel card. And, the moon cycles are something I talk about in all my general readings every single month. Big deal there. We're coming up here on a new moon, so they might want to bring attention to attracting new things for my Leos. I'll talk about that momentarily. Let me start with the tarot part here. Even though I kind of alluded to, kind of teased out a little bit there. Sorry, it's a short reading. You guys will be okay. The Hermit card comes in first. So you guys are either being guided, like a guiding light, somebody showing you how to do something here or guiding you, helping you out, or you could even be doing that to other people, or it's the other definition of the Hermit, which is basically just spending some time alone. Maybe some quiet time, some isolation, a little bit hermit mode, okay? So that's what they're calling for, or that's what they're describing what's happening. So even if that's not happening for you, that could very well be the advice of what they need you to do. Hey, you know what? You've been overwhelmed by all this family stuff, all this, bringing the kids to soccer practice, doing all these things, running them around to school and band practice, all these things. Hey, you know what? You gotta hit the reset button. You need some time for yourself here. Spend a little time for yourself here in the middle of October. It's a good thing to do. Hit that reset button on your life. Recharge those batteries. They do show that there is energy needed in the family, so they don't want you to neglect it. So I kind of go back to my Hermit card, and I'm gonna say, you know what? You got to find that balance between both, because they're saying here, you got to use your alone time, but at the same time, the family needs it too. So you're just going to have to find a way to do both, maybe right here in the middle of October. The last thing that we end with is a very good omen with the Nine of Cups. This is a success, like trophy case card, like you're putting a trophy on the shelf. It's an accomplishment of some form. So my Leos are doing good things here in the middle of October, something worth celebrating or a little bit of applause, pat on the back, something like that. So I go back to the Oracle Angel card of the moon cycles and paying attention to the new moon, because that is the only one we have left in the month of October before we get into some November energy. So bringing new things into your life, guys, that's going to come up here in just a few days. So very important. If you're trying to bring anything new into your life, Leos, doesn't matter what it is, whether it's new love, something new with health or diet or exercise, something new with work and the work corner, or even something new financial. Really push hard for it these next few days, I'd say pretty much through the end of the month, and you can really work on manifesting that, bringing new stuff in, something that wasn't there before could very well show up for my Leos here, middle of October, moving through into November. Very good. Let's get into some Virgo, guys. Virgo is next. Virgo, middle of the month, we have Return of a Friend. Well, hold on, I got a discard. Yep, that's going to change it. Not Return of a Friend anymore. It could have been Return of a Friend, but Spirit said, nope, we're not going to return the friend right now. So what they show instead here is, you really need to look at what you have, the good things. Really be grateful. Gratitude is a high vibration. I want my Virgos to be really kind of emanating that from your Virgo great selves here in the middle of October. Really show your gratitude, whether it's verbalizing it and telling people how thankful you are for them, how much you love them, how grateful you are for the role that they play in your life. And basically, let's get away from the other stuff, the victim mode stuff, looking at the bad, like, oh, woe is me, the things that you've lost, the things that haven't gone your way. Maybe some of you have been going through some hard times. Hey, let's get this turned around right here. We basically, Spirit saying, look, right behind you, all the good stuff. Don't pay attention to the spilled milk, or in this case, the cups that are spilled over with wine or whatever that is. Whatever red, I guess it would be wine, red wine spilt. And you know what? Look right behind you. Look at all these rewards. Look at all this great stuff you got. All these people that love you and so forth. So that's the main kind of focus. The next thing they show here is a big purchase. So a lot of my Virgos are making some large money moves here in mid-October, moving into November. Spirit's giving you a thumbs up here. This looks very good. I believe that was part of your quadrants information too, is that this fourth quadrant, October, November, and December, was very good financial move stuff for my Virgos. You guys might want to check out that quadrants video if you haven't. I just reposted that on Facebook. You could also search for it on my YouTube channel. So we have big purchase coming in there, guys. Very good. And it's usually a very pleasurable big purchase. I wouldn't go and spend a bunch of money just because I said this, but if you're on the books, if you're ready to buy something, let's say you're due to buy a car, you're due to buy a new dresser drawer set, new bed, whatever it is. Hey, what better time to do it than right here? If you've been waiting for it, Spirit is giving you that green light to go and buy that set or whatever it is for you. So very good reading there for Virgo. It's starting with perception. So that's really what they want you to turn around and get done there, guys. Switch that perception around as we move into November. You guys will be just fine. Now let's get into some Taurus. Taurus is next. I got to do a deck switch here. Actually, the angel deck is also gone, so that one's got to go away. This one gone, and this one gone. All right, so we are ready for some Taurus with this deck. Once we ritual cut it, actually got to do the Angel Oracle card deck too, because you guys are cracking into this first. And we are ready. Here we go with some Taurus middle of October. All right, Taurus, it is a big theme, and it's starting blocked. It's going to be a discard deal, and they do want that. That's got to go here. Screwed that one up a little bit. All right, now we're good. That discard is going to actually make us revert everything upright. So that'll change the message a little bit here. The order does need to stay the same in tarot. I always kind of repeat that over and over for my people that watch this, that actually do tarot themselves. Not showing you the overhead right here, but I do in my general, so you guys can kind of like watch at home and play along. So this, we're going to be looking at everything very upright and clear. And this actually is, you know what, over here, wrong one. This one. All right, now we're ready. Got to get the deck that we just cut instead of grabbing from the wrong deck. Jeez. Okay. Almost messed that up for you, Taurus, but we got it corrected. Now, Taurus, they talk about the Empress card first, so this is feminine energy. This could be talking about a mother, a grandmother. This could just be talking about feminine progress too, or anything brand new. It represents birth. It represents fertility. It represents, something new to the touch that wasn't there before. So it would be like if, let me give you an example. If you were, working on opening up a business, for example, let's say first you think of the idea. That is not Empress energy. That's, in the clouds. It's aloof. It's not real yet, right? And then you start planning what you're going to do. Well, it's still not real. But then when you actually get the key and you open the door to the business and you have your grand opening, well, now all of a sudden it's real. And that's what the Empress card is. It's the card of birth and fertility when something becomes real. That's what a childbirth is, basically. So that's what they bring in first. This is good, the divine feminine also. And they talk about building blocks. So we have progress being made here. I don't know what you guys are doing, Taurus, specifically for your progress. It's probably going to be a split audience deal, because what they show on half of you here is that a lot of you Tauruses have made a major decision, and I guess feel very strongly, or at least very good about it. Hey, maybe this is something that needed to be done. Maybe this is something you were putting off, and it's just, this is the time. Here, October, moving into November, we got to get this done before November. We have a major decision to be made, and a lot of you, they're showing, have already made that. If you do have a major decision to be made and you have not made that yet, Taurus, well, what better time to do it than right now? That's what they're calling for. They're saying, hey, blow the horn on this. Get this done. You're good. The next thing they show for my other side of the audience here is my card of travel. It has other definitions too, but one of them is travel. So some of my Tauruses may be getting ideas together, plans together for travel, for vacation, something like that. The other energetic definition of this card is just that things are moving into smoother waters, more balanced. Very, very good. Even with health, they're telling me here, this is coming up in the deck they wanted to use for you as also a health message. So some of you are getting things done and together with your health. Maybe some of you are, starting new diets or exercise stuff or whatever it is for you. Maybe it's just a simple brisk walk, whatever it is, it's showing as good progress. We are working on doing stuff here, Taurus. Even if it's not health related, they bring in building blocks. So you guys are working on something, and this is a process. So keep working on it, because we have that this is becoming real. And especially with that decision making that you guys are making, it looks like good decisions, and everything's coming in good, Taurus. Not worried about it. Very good. Let's move on to Aquarius. Aquarius is next. Make sure I grab from the right deck. There we go. Okay, Aquarius, middle of October. Big theme. Huge, huge, huge theme. Discard there. Okay, not a person. Okay, Oracle Angel card. Okay, so Aquarius, the first thing they talk about here, I have the Chariot card inverted. This could be a car. Some of you may be needing to put attention into the car. Maybe you let something go for too long. Maybe the car just needs a little bit of maintenance or oil change. Who's to say? Could be a little deal, could be a big deal. Hard to say, but we have the Chariot card inverted, and the Chariot is my transportation card. So even if you're driving a motorcycle, or you just get around on your shoes or skateboard or whatever that is, something you might want to just give it a little look over. And same thing with going back to car. You could just have a flat tire one day. You walk out to go to work, and just, oh man, that tire just must have picked up a nail the other day or something like that. So it's good to check. Just be aware of this kind of stuff. Give it a little look around here. Don't you don't want to be halfway to work, 10 miles away from home when you notice that your tire's gone and you're riding on the rim or something crazy like that. Now, there is another definition of this card. This could also mean that your energy basically is just, you're too focused on one thing. And here, that some of my Aquariuses need to look a little bit bigger picture. So it's one or the other. If we're either on the card definition or we're on the energetic definition. So if the card definition makes sense to you, that's where you're at. You can skip this part. If the card makes no sense to you, then you're here. So this basically means that, too much energy focused on one thing. Whatever it is, whether it's work, whether it's, the situation at home with the family, or whatever it is that's on your mind and concerning you is at the forefront of your attention span, it's just too much. And, you got to kind of broaden this out a little bit. You got to open it up, go a little bit wider. There's more to life than just what you're focusing on. So basically bigger perspective here is what they're calling for. They do bring in higher power. So a lot of my Aquariuses are going to be very high vibration here, ending in October, moving into early November, very high vibration, higher power. They're working behind the scenes too. There's angelic help and guidance. They do bring in the Five of Pentacles. So that could be that hate to say it, but some of my Aquariuses are spending a lot of money here, and it's usually not on a fun thing. This is usually more like, putting out a bunch of money to, buy a new microwave out of the blue. We talked about the car. It could be money into the car that just, hey, I didn't really plan on doing an alternator and a new battery and radiator or whatever it is, but now all of a sudden you got to do it. It's just the time, and hey, hopefully that's not the definition for you, but a lot of my Aquariuses will be spending a lot of money here on something. And I feel like it's not something you necessarily want to spend on. Maybe it's a bill that, just came back around, maybe something you forgot, or, oh man, I forgot I got to pay that now. That 6-month car insurance just happened to come back right now in October. Now I got to pay that again. So whatever it is, a large chunk of sums being moved. The next thing they show here is King of Cups. So be very authoritative with your love corner. Please, Aquarius, you need to do it. You need to be very firm, be authoritative. Don't let other people choose for you. You got to choose for yourself. And that's what we have there for Aquarius middle of the month. Very good, empowering stuff. You just got to put your foot down and really decide as you move forward into November. Okay, it is time for some Gemini. Gemini's turn. Grab the right deck here for Gemini. Here we go, Gemini, middle of October. And it is a big theme. Gonna need to do a discard there. Is that a person? It is not. Need an Oracle Angel card as well, because it's a big deal. All right, so Gemini. This is one of those. This is tough to read. This is real tough because I got a lot of people cards. People cards are very hard to do in a general, because you're not here to ask you, who are these people? Why are they coming up and what are they trying to say based on these energies? So the context of this is going to be huge, Gemini. Good luck. Here we go. Emperor card is what we start with. This could be a very, very grandfather. This could be a father figure. may not even be alive. That's popping in here. Could be from the other side. Or this could be the energetic definition of the Emperor, which is, well, there's also the firm guy too, like a husband who is very, very firm, very authoritative. That could also be the Emperor. And our energetic definition of the Emperor, since this is inverted and switched around, is basically saying that here, this is the time when my Geminis really got to be authoritative. You got to be the boss. The Emperor is the boss in tarot. It is the God card in tarot. It's basically saying, hey, you need to start getting things under control, putting your thumb on this stuff and getting this done, checked off the list or whatnot. There's something here that is left and a little bit abandoned. Maybe this is a project. Maybe this is a person that you just haven't been finding the time to put your effort into. Maybe it's a child of yours. Maybe it's a spouse. Hard to say, but we have orphan card coming in here. So that's basically saying don't let things slip away here. Don't let things fall apart. Put the energy, basically going back to the Emperor card, is that authoritative push, being the boss that is needed here. So we got to get this turned around here for my Geminis. They do bring in that there is work stuff here too, because I have 2 wands that come in. So it's almost like inevitably about something with work here. Now, this may be a segmented story, or this may all be the same group of story here. Gemini, you're just, like I said, going to have to really pick this apart, what they're trying to say. The King of Wands inverted basically means that the work corner needs a lot of your energy. Hopefully that's not what you've been kind of neglecting here, because you really got it. It needs the energy right now. Like, I feel like, if some of you didn't, if, for example, if you called out a couple of days of work, it might end up being bad results for you, losing your job. Maybe you're not going to get that raise that you would have got otherwise, or you get the energy at least of what I'm describing. So the work corner needs it. The work, business, enterprise, area of study, collegiate courses, working on your retirement if you're of that age, your hobbies, interests, or any kind of projects really fall into that work corner. So that's what comes up first. The next thing they show here is that you're dealing with little things here. At least that's what Spirit's saying. Spirit's like, this isn't worth worrying about. Why are you guys worrying about this? This is just little stupid stuff. So let's go back to, doing what matters here. Don't neglect these certain things. Take authoritative action where you need to take this authoritative push, be the boss. And that's pretty much what they show here. As long as we get away from that orphaned energy, that neglect, this is going to turn out very good. They're just saying, hey, this is the time for my Geminis to really step up. So there we go. Let's move on, guys. Let's move on to some Cancer. Cancer's turn. All right, Cancer, we got a deck change for Cancer. This deck is gone. All right, so here we go. Cancer needs the ritual cuts for kicking this deck off. Put them into thirds. Back together we go, and we're ready. Here we go, Cancer, middle of October. Okay, short and sweet for my Cancers and a positive message. We start with welcome, warm, fuzzy energy. Could be money being moved. This is a pentacle. Anytime we have pentacles, it could be about money or health or just the energy of the card, which is, like I said, that warm and fuzzy energy, very welcoming. So this could be a big boost of money coming from weird places, maybe places you expected, maybe places you did not expect. And, it's just very good. It could also be very welcoming energy too. So maybe it's not about money. Maybe you're, going to hang out with an old friend or something like that, or, go stay with your sister for a few days. And it's just, oh man, what a great time we had. Maybe it's even a vacation, because they bring in the Six of Swords next, which is a travel card for me. It's like a vacation or travel, or, something like that is one definition of the Six of Swords. So a lot of my Cancers are either doing this or planning this for later, but it's on the forefront of a lot of your minds, and you guys are getting this figured out. The other definition of the Six of Swords is that things are moving in a good direction here. Things are getting smoother, wrapped up. Definitely, if we're talking about financial or health, this is getting kind of secured up. And you're hitting the cruise control is what you're doing, Cancer. So very good energy to see. Not a lot to talk about when it's so good. So let's keep that momentum going into November, Cancer. Very good. Let's move on to some Capricorn, guys. Capricorn is next. Get the right deck. Here we go with some Capricorn, middle of October. Big theme for my Capricorns. Very clear, crisp energy too. Everything is upright, easy to read. We start with the Six of Pentacles. This is good credit, good return on investment. So some of you are making money moves here, and you're making good ones. very smart, calculated decisions. A lot of my Capricorns are doing such things, maybe giving, maybe receiving. Either way, it's on the up and up. It's very positive energy. It's not, basically, if it was turned around, they'd be saying the other way. Bad credit. They're not doing that. This is good credit here, good energy going on, good giving, good receiving, good balance. This could also be, like I said, a return on investment. This could not be about money at all. This could be energetic. So this is just like helping somebody out, them helping you out. Hey, it all comes around. It's just kind of like the karmic law. The next thing they show there is the Emperor. So this is a very, very authoritative push. They want to make sure that you're very kind of in control of this. Don't let other people control your finances. Don't let other people control your health. That's what Pentacles are, is usually health or finances. So with the Emperor coming in next, he's basically looking directly at this. And it is the God card in Tarot too. So this could even be like a divine push. But here they're saying, you know, be the boss. Don't lose control of what's going on. This is such good energy. You're gonna have to guide it. You know, the energy needs somewhere to go. It needs direction. It needs your what's the word? Like, I guess your conscious output. Your awareness needs to put it where it needs to go. So that way, you know, it's not just going all over the place in the universe, and the guides, the angels don't know what to do with it. The last thing they show here is the Eight of Swords. So they do show that a lot of my Capricorns are a little bit tied up into something here in the middle of October, eking into early November. So this means, you know, that you're not completely tied down, because I do have a card that shows that. They did not give you that. So they gave you the card that's just kind of a little bit tied down. It's basically showing here a woman that is, she's bound by her hands, but her feet are free to walk around. So they're saying you're not as bound down as you may feel. You may feel like you're completely tied up in work, with the family, running errands, all this stuff. But they're saying, you know, you're okay. You have the mental freeness. It is a mental card because it's a sword. So anytime we have swords, it's very mental, cerebral energy. So this is saying, you know, you're free in your mind, if nothing else. Even if you're busy at work, you're free in your mind to let your mind roam and so forth. But basically, long story short, is that you're not as much of a slave or tied down as you feel like. You have some room to move around. You can get some stuff done. You know, things are going to be good. I go back to my first two cards. That is the main direction. That is the main push. So we got that good credit, and we got that authority coming in right behind it. So push that. Let's get that into November, guys. And you guys will be very happy with the way November looks, especially getting that done. Let's move into some Aries. Saving our best for last with Aries, guys. I always say that about all my signs, but everybody knows Aries is really the best. All right, here we go. Aries, middle of October. We are completely blocked here. I do need to do a discard, and they want it read that way. Let's see why, Aries. Okay, Aries, we show a Queen of Cups inverted. This is saying that some of you really need to put energy into and exert awareness and just spend time with the family. That's really required right here. Middle of October going into November, very big theme. I don't necessarily feel like it's like a neglect thing. It may just be like, hey, you know, I forgot I had to, you know, get a few things done, and I was so busy with work or so busy with this that, you know, I didn't really give the kids the attention they deserve. I didn't really get to spend time with my mom or, you know, my aunt and uncle or whoever the context of this refers to for you. So this is calling for the family love corner, that more attention needs to be put there right now. It's basically saying it's calling for the energy. It's inverted. So they're basically saying, hey, put it here, love corner, guys. And even if this is a love message, like let's say you're single, hey, you know what? Maybe you need to put more energy into meeting somebody. And, you know, maybe you're not putting yourself out there. Maybe you're just kind of like letting things play out in front of you. And if that's the case, that's okay. But just know at the end of the day that the results come from when you do the work. So, you know, all that to be, you know, taken in account. The next thing they show here is the Three of Pentacles. This is coming in inverted. So they're basically saying here that there is something you guys just kind of don't give a crap about here. It is a very, very stubborn energy. You know, you Aries can be good at that sometimes, but this is basically saying, hey, you know what? Something has gotten to a point here where you just said, you know what? Screw it. I'm done with that. Whether we go back to the first card and it's about dating, or, you know, maybe a loved one that you're just like, you know what? I'm just done with that person until they change their ways. I'm not dealing with them no more. That's the energy of what's going on here. So you're kind of just not giving a crap about something here. So when this card comes up, you know, that could be a good move or a bad move for you. It's really hard to say because this card is kind of, It doesn't really specify the advice. It just talks about what's going on here. So I would just be, use discernment about, whether this is really the best decision for you to be making, or whether, hey, you know what, maybe you should find a way to turn this around. Maybe it's on you to turn around. Maybe even if it's not your fault, maybe it's the other person's fault and you could just be the bigger person and still turn this around. But it's going to require the energy to do so. You got to do that. You can't just kind of say, hey, you know what? I don't care about it. I don't care. I quit, whatever. So whether this is about a person, whether it's about a job, whether it's about, you know what? I'm done with the gym. It can be about any of this stuff, guys. So the context of where they're going with this for you in a general reading is huge. But I hope you put that together and put that all to good use, because that's what this is all about. And that concludes our entire reading, guys, for the October mid-month. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please remember to like and subscribe so you see the future videos. And I will see you all very soon with the November readings, just a couple weeks away. Have a great Halloween. See you soon.